Well, hello everyone. Today is August 12th. It's the Sunday before I go into chemo. So I'll be going in tomorrow morning. I think I need to be there at 8 a.m. So leaving here at like 7 or something like that. Just kind of hanging around. So I had a couple people post some comments, so thank you very much. I'm going to talk about Tehani's first, and then we'll kind of go from there. So Tehani, thank you for commenting. You're asking what did radiation do? So apparently the neck and like lymph node area is a high risk area, and when they did the surgery and cut everything out, they're worried about when they cut something that maybe a cell got loose and is still around, just kind of hanging out in there, causing ruckus. I guess melanoma, it follows a path of least resistance, so it'll go down. It started in my head, went to my lymph nodes, and kind of goes down. And so this area, because there's a lot of stuff that goes in and out of there, they consider it high risk, and that's why they wanted to do the radiation. Yeah, they tell me that melanoma is a super aggressive cancer, so they treat it, they attack it aggressively as well. I lost my taste. My right ear, I kind of have some weird hearing issues in. I get some ringing now, but I mean, it's only been a couple of months or something, and I've been pretty beat up by radiation, so hopefully that'll kind of clear up over the time, and then kind of the end of it was I just got this sexy beard going on, so I only get half of it growing. So I lost all this hair over here, got lost some hair in the back, but nothing too bad. And then so I hope that answered your question. The next kind of follow up to that was you asked why the reason for doing both, so both chemo and radiation. Well, originally I was kind of going back and forth with radiation. For me, it just was like, well, whatever. It's just they're shooting lasers at me. It's gonna kill it. Great, whatever. I don't really care. The chemo was a little bit more of a decision because I don't like the thought of doing the intravenous. I don't like that thought of like putting chemicals like that into my body. But when we talked to the doctor, we looked around, and went to a bunch of different places, and kind of went to homeopaths, went and looked at all these other things, and kind of went back for our follow up appointment with our doctor, and sat down and was talking with him, and just said, oh, I'm thinking to do observation. And he just kind of looked at me and he's like, well, he's like, I don't know why you do that. We highly suggest, because of the type of cancer that it was and the melanoma we found, originally I thought, if it's a 50-50 chance, and all it really does is the treatment was only originally supposed to give me a year on the back end. So I'd go through a year, I'd feel like I had the flu forever, and then, it may give me 5 years, and then it would only extend it another year if I was gonna get it or not. And I thought it was, like a 50-50 chance observation versus doing the therapy. They came out with another therapy called biochemo, and that's what I'm gonna be doing, and it's supposed to give me, if it does come back, it gives me an extra 5 years or something like that, so it'll give me 10 years, and it's a lot shorter of a treatment, and it's pretty quick and everything like that. And I was thinking, well, I don't want to do it, I'd rather just do observation. But when we sat down, and I thought it was a flip of the coin, like, well, it's a 50% this way and 50% this way, I'd rather not feel like crap, and then kind of just take my chances anyway. But when we asked the question, he just said, well, it's more of like an 80% chance of it coming back within 5 years if you do nothing, and then even with the therapy, it's still a 56% chance. So it's not like it's not the same as like flipping a coin and saying, oh, it's 50-50 either way. Simple choice at that point in time, at least in my mind. It's more of, it's a little bit more dramatic, I guess. And then the mortality rates after that, because of the aggressiveness of it, are still kind of crazy and everything like that. But that's kind of why we did it. And this actually, something that my wife said, and it's actually, I had another weird comment on YouTube. Some guy was like, talking about black salve and different treatments, and to avoid chemo and radiation and all that stuff, and kind of just hijack the blog to put stuff onto his, I guess. I don't know. Corbin Matrix. So if you're listening, I don't know why you said that stuff on there. I'm kind of trying to do this more positive, but if you ask the question, please clarify so I can answer it better. But my wife was saying, it's not necessarily that she cares what cures it, it's that it gets cured. And even if we don't have anything, it's not that we're ruling out anything, we're just not ruling out chemo either. People always talk about, well, don't rule out, look at all your options, including, homeopaths and this and this. Well, chemo is still an option. Why is everyone ruling that out? And, I figured, what the hell, it'd be fun, You asked about kind of imagining the pain I was going through. I'm not so much worried about the pain as losing this thing. So I'm a little sad that I'm going to be losing my half beard, but it'll be cool. I'm going to lose my eyebrows, and that's kind of, everyone says I have big eyebrows. So and then on a more serious note, I actually had the question posed of did I find God during this when I found out about everything and like going through, did I re-look at what's going on in my life and find God, I guess. And I wouldn't say I found God or anything because of what happened to me. I never really asked myself that question. I don't know if I believe in what people define as God, but I definitely believe that there's something that potential that's within us to be great, to be huge, to be whatever we're gonna be. I believe in that, and I don't know if people think that's God or it's faith or whatever it is, but I don't want to put the constraints of what most people say, oh, it's this guy in the sky and here's these rules and here's everything about it. I'd rather say, no, this is what I believe in and I think this is, healthy and that's who I am and, who knows? So, but yeah, it was interesting and it was actually I live in Utah and the predominant religion's Mormon and our local bishop here actually stopped by and kind of posed the question and I kind of answer him the same way. Just like I don't really know the relationships between me and whatever it is. So, yeah. But thank you for asking that. Like I said, I mean I'm trying to keep this blog as open as possible and really kind of figure out who I am as well as I'm transitioning through this and going through this time in my life. So yeah, again, please, anything you guys want to ask me, and I will try and answer as honestly as possible, and we'll kind of go from there. So cool. Thank you again for all your questions. And like I said, going in tomorrow, I think I got about 7, 8, 9 hours until I get up there. So gonna be a interesting night for sure, but should be good. Just watch the closing Olympics or the closing ceremonies to the Olympics. So that was really cool. Got a little Mexi stash here going on, so that's pretty neat too. But anyway, so you guys have a good night, and yeah, thanks for all the questions.